Man, I really wish that was alcohol. I'm just joking. I don't drink. But what's up, DC fans? What's up, Batman fans alike? Welcome back to the channel. I am Dial, and we're continuing on with Bat Month, where in the month of February we are reviewing every theatrical release of Batman leading up to Matt Reeves' The Batman, which is going to be in theaters March 4th. For those who haven't seen, I've already did streams for the previous Batman films up until this point. We've talked about the 1966 Adam West Batman movie. We talked about Tim Burton's Batman in 1989. We talked about Batman Returns. We talked about the animated film Batman Mask of the Phantasm. And we talked about the first Joel Schumacher film, Batman Forever. So if you haven't seen any of those streams, check them out on my channel. I have a playlist called Bat Month, and you'll see all the reviews there. But today, you're in for a show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to get into the second Joel Schumacher film, the infamous film that almost killed the Batman franchise. We're finally going to be talking about Batman and Robin. And I should have a couple of guests coming in later on. I know I couldn't talk about this movie alone, so they'll be coming in shortly. Before we begin, the few things I want to let you guys know. So for the Batman Mask of the Phantasm review, um, I apparently got copywritten on that video, so I had to cut out some of the actually all the clips that I included in that stream. So it's in the process of rendering. Probably the next time you guys watch it, you may notice some abrupt cuts here and there. That's because I had to cut out the clips because Warner Brothers got me. So I don't know why they got it for that movie, but none of my other Batman reviews that just didn't make any sense. And then another thing, if you hear noise in the background, it's because there's maintenance going on in my house, so you may hear some noise here and there. So hopefully it won't come through too badly. So just letting you guys know if you do hear some stuff in the background. And then another thing, I'm a little I'm a little under the weather today, ladies and gentlemen. Um, Started getting a little bit of the sniffles right before I was getting ready for the stream. So horrible timing, but I'm gonna pull through this review. I'm gonna try not to be too disgusting on the stream, but just let you guys know about that as well. But without further ado, let's talk about this damn movie. Batman and Robin came out in 1997. As I said, once again directed by Joel Schumacher. Oh, okay. So you guys watched my review of the stream for Batman and Batman Forever. Um, I thought it was okay. It went a completely different direction, tonal wise, structure wise. Trying to be more of a family friendly movie because of how dark Batman Returns was. So everything was bright, colorful, and characters were over the top. Um, while that's not really the direction I would want for Batman, I did have a good time with it here and there. There were some entertaining action sequences, and I did think there was some good performances from Val Kilmer and Chris O'Donnell. And I actually enjoyed Jim Carrey as the Riddler, but I just felt for me it was just a little too silly in places, and I felt like there was some tonal clashes because, as I said, like Batman and Robin's story arc is just it's very serious, and then we cut to stuff with the Riddler and Two Face where they're very over the top and crazy. So I just didn't feel like those tones mixed very well. Um, but overall, I mean, I think it's an okay movie. I don't think it's horrible like people say it is, but I don't consider it a great Batman movie. And I know for those of you be like, well, I want the Schumacher cut. I mean, I'm curious to see the Schumacher cut. If it exists, I hope they do release it at some point. But I'm not gonna get my hopes up, and I'm not like super eager to see it. I don't know. I don't know if it will change the like. I don't know if it'll change the structure of the movie that much. And honestly, after Batman and Robin, like it makes me care about seeing the Schumacher cut less, considering where we know it's going to go after that. Like we know what's coming after that, the next movie. So it's like it would pretty much kill almost any like any hope that the Schumacher cut will make it more, have give it more dignity. I don't know, but so when it came to Batman and Robin, once again, my folks were not eager to have me watch this because of the negative reception towards the movie. It's yeah, haven't heard a lot of good things about it. Um, but as a kid, I didn't care. It's Batman, and at the time, I really enjoyed Batman Forever, and I wanted to see what happened after that. So I really begged, begged my folks to buy me the DVD because I did own the DVDs of the previous older Batman movies. So I'm like, I need to finish the collection. Let me get Batman and Robin. I want to watch this. And then seeing that they had Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy and Batgirl, they're gonna finally be in a live action film. I'm like, hey, sign me up, man. This is gonna be fun. And then Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, like that was very interesting. I mean, I was a fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger before I saw this movie, so even though I wasn't thinking too much about if he fit the role, but I was like, hey, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. I want to see what he does as Mr. Freeze. Uma Thurman, I think this is the first role I saw her in before I saw her in Kill Bill. So this is my introduction to her. But yeah, and Mr. Freeze also, I'll let you guys know, is probably my favorite Batman villain. I really love Mr. Freeze. I know people will go to like the Joker and all that stuff like that, but Mr. Freeze, like I think is my go-to. If it's not Two Face, Mr. Freeze is definitely up there for me. So, of course, I'm excited to see Mr. Freeze in a live action Batman movie. And yeah, so I will say, being being the naive little kid that I was, I had a really good time watching this as a kid because it was pretty much Batman Forever times 20. There was a lot of fun, bright colors. We're seeing Batman and Robin fighting together, and Mr. Freeze, with all his, over the top glories, just chewing up scenery. Same thing with Poison Ivy. It literally felt like, you know, when I was a kid and I was playing with Batman action figures and the toys and stuff like that. It literally felt like a film version of that. So as a kid, not knowing any better, I had a blast with this movie. And I watched this so many times as a kid. But now, as an adult, man, has my opinion changed. Um, so I'm sure a lot of you have heard people talk about this movie to death, about how horrible this movie is. About this is probably the worst Batman film ever made. It's killed the franchise. So I'm just gonna say up front, I'm 100% with them. I don't feel like there's anything here that I'm going to say that you haven't heard already. Yes, Batman and Robin is horrible. It is one of the worst comic book films I have ever seen. This movie's so bad. Oh my god. This doesn't even feel like a film. This feels like a toy commercial. And that's pretty much what Warner Brothers wanted to do with this movie is they just want to sell toys to this film. That's all their concern was with this movie. Um and it's just like you could just feel that with the writing and the direction and just the dialogue. Like it literally felt like a 10-year-old wrote this script. And I'm just like, and all the bright colors and all the over the top weird looking vehicles and the villains being over the top again, like I didn't feel like I was watching a movie. This is some of the silliest shit I have ever seen in a Batman movie. Like, yeah, I've already talked about the Adam West Batman um the Adam West movie. Like how that was silly and that was over the top at the time. Like that was how we looked at Batman at the time. And so this, in a way, I will give it credit. This does feel like a modern version of the Adam West show. But here's the problem: if we're looking at the previous three movies, like it's just crazy how much how weird this franchise has gone. Like we've gotten to like you know had more of a grounded tone with the Tim Burton movies. I mean, it had its whimsical moments, but for the most part, it took itself seriously. And then even with Batman Forever, where it started to transition to more family friendly, it still was trying to be serious in moments. It's like, I mean, I don't personally feel like they executed it the best, but it's like I felt like they were trying to capture the tone of the animated show for the most part, with a sprinkle of Adam West. But like still for the most part they were trying to take themselves a little more seriously with Batman Forever. And now they just fully transitioned into silly town with this movie. It just makes me mad. This movie makes me mad. Like from the main heroes with Batman, like George Clooney is Batman. Like let's just get into this right now. George Clooney is Batman. Like, okay, here's the thing. I'm a fan of George Clooney. I am. I think he's a really good actor. And when he was cast as Batman, I'm like, okay, I think I think he would be a good Batman. I think he would be a good older, a little bit of older version of Batman. I think he could pull that off really well. But no, George Clooney was phoning it in this movie. There is no distinction between him as Batman and him as Bruce Wayne. He acts the exact same. He doesn't even feel like, I wouldn't even say he feels like Bruce Wayne. He feels like George Clooney, and is Bruce Wayne and Batman in name only. He doesn't try to change his performance at all. Like I, jeez, I don't think it's George Clooney's fault. I just think that it's the material, or the little material he's given. Like it's just not working for. He's just not able to get the performance that he could. I just no, he was not good as Batman. Like literally from his opening action sequence confronts when he crashes into the museum and he's about to confront face off against Mr. Freeze and the hockey team, whatever. Um, what's his introduction? He's like, "I Freeze, I'm Batman." Really? That's the delivery you're gonna give us? "I Freeze, I'm Batman." Like, did you not look at the previous movies when they do the "I'm Batman" line? It's like, if this feels so much more like menacing and more like iconic, but just like this is just like, oh god. Even Val Kilmer, like in the previous movie, tried harder to like, make his voice a little different from him as Bruce Wayne. Like I don't know what they were doing here. Like no, no, didn't like that. And then and then Chris O'Donnell as Robin. Okay. So I did really like him in Batman Forever. I thought, for the most part his development was done pretty well. Was he too old to play Robin? Sure. But I still thought he did a good job, you know. But in this movie, I'm sorry. He was annoying. He was so annoying. Oh my god. He's whining and bitching the whole time. And it's like, okay, so here's the thing about this though. Not to say that, this hasn't happened in the comics, because it has, like Robin feeling like he's not being appreciated enough from Batman, and that like he feels like he's stuck in his shadow, you know. And so yes, that conflict does happen in the comics. I understand that. But it's he's whining so much in this movie where it's like he feels kind of unlikable. And another thing with him, feeling like he's being overshadowed by Batman, it would be one thing if like, you know, we see Robin um if we see Robin actually trying to help, or what he's trying to do actually would have worked, in whatever situation that they're in, I guess. Like he's actually it'd be one thing like when he's trying to help and it could actually work, and he's like holding him back, but it's the fact that Robin in this movie keeps messing up in this film. Like when he's trying to do his own thing, he almost gets himself killed like more than once in the movie. And Batman, being the responsible guardian that he is, he's just trying to make sure that he doesn't do anything stupid. But then Robin's coming in like, no, why don't you trust me? Come on, I thought we were partners. Don't treat me like a kid. I don't need more training. I just messed up one time. Give me another chance. Why are you doing this to me? I'm like, because you're acting stupid, first of all. Like, there isn't like I don't feel like there was any instances where it's like we don't really see how, you know, does Robin earn having more respect from Batman? Like, we don't really see that in the movie. No, I don't. No, we don't see that. So already it's just George Clooney doesn't feel like Bruce Wayne or Batman, and then Robin is just being annoying. And like these are the two main characters of the film, and they both are not. The writing for both of them just not working at all. Like I don't understand that. And then, okay, let's talk about let's talk about these suits. Let's talk about these suits. So in Batman Forever, yeah, they decided to put nipples on the bat suit. Now I thought that was a weird choice, but I'm like, it's whatever because the nipples in the first movie, they were there, but like, you weren't looking at them the whole time. Like they weren't distracting. But in this movie, it seems like the nipples are more detailed. They're they're more imposed. Like, look at those things. You can cut diamonds with those nipples, man. Like, what is going on with that? Like, that's really ridiculous. And I mean, I'll say this: like, I like Robin's suit. I do like Robin's suit outside the nipples being like bigger, but I do like the Robin suit because like it looks like a variation of the Nightwing suit, except the logo is red. I do like that. The all black with the Robin thing going on his chest and his shoulders down to his arms. I do like that. I do really like that. I don't know if I like this more than the his suit in Forever. I think it's right up there for me because I do really like that Robin suit in the first movie. But I do like this variation of the suit, and he has a different mask as well. So I thought this look works for him. But it's just those fucking nipples, man. Like, why are they more detailed? What are you doing, Joel Schumacher? What are you doing? Now, Batman suit, uh I don't know. Like, okay, so it's like this it's all bluish gray, which I guess it's not a horrible choice, but it's like it's probably the most off-putting of all the like the main bat suits in all the other films. But yeah, I'm not loving this, but I'm thinking it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, but since this is a bluish grayish suit, the nipples you could just see even more on this. Like, look at those things. Look at those things. Why are they there? Why are they there? And is it me or like does he look kind of thin in this suit? I mean, George Clooney, I know he's not like the hugest guy ever, but it's like I don't know. The suit just made him look more slender than usual. And then another thing, if when you guys watch the movie, if you guys notice um that Chris O'Donnell looks taller than George Clooney when they're in their bat suits. They look like Robin looks taller than Batman. That was kind of that's interesting to see. That was kind of weird, but yeah, I'm like, and the intro, the fucking intro to this movie, Like it's very similar to the first, similar to Forever with the whole suit up and stuff like that, and you have all those quick cuts to different parts of his suit or whatever. So they double down on that, and now we have nipple shots and ass shots. Why? Why do we have close up ass shots of them in this movie? And no, I'm not showing clips of that. No, because I have dignity. But why? This movie is just so homoerotic. Like, why are we doing this, Schumacher? And this is not the only time either. We'll get to more stuff later. But like, this is the tone that we're setting. This is the opening shots of the film, and you're just starting off with bat ass, bat nipples, yeah, all in your face. Like, oh my god, just so fucking ridiculous. And then speaking of ridiculous, let's talk about these damn vehicles, all right? This Batmobile, bruh. Okay, so I'll give one positive to this. It looks better than the Batman Forever Batmobile. And that's about it. I hate this Batmobile as well. I don't like it. Like, man, everything in this damn movie looks like a damn toy. That looks like a toy. And it's like, how is he? Batman sits in it, and it's like the cockpit is open. Why is the cockpit open? Like it just makes no sense. It looks like he's driving a toy. That's what it looks like. Like I can see kind of that it's trying to be like a mixture of Adam West's car and the Batmobile and like the is it kind of like a mixture of the Adam West and the Michael Keaton Batmobile? I don't know. I think they were trying to do something with that to have a mixture of that, but it's just like it's still. I'm like it looks like something I played with when I was like 10 years old. Like it was like a Hot Wheels toy. And then same thing with Robin's motorcycle. Like look at that and tell me that doesn't look like a toy. Like there's nothing but like toys in this movie. Like how am I taking this movie seriously, man? Like I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Um but it's like, I am kind of glad that they gave Robin a motorcycle because he has a motorcycle in the comics and like in the other TV shows like Teen Titans and stuff like that, and I think he had one in Young Justice. I'm not sure. So it's like okay, at least they finally gave him a vehicle of his own. But like no man, just everything just looks too colorful and weird. I just don't like it. Um, all right, so let me get into the oh god these villains man. Um, Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. So Mr. Freeze, as I said, is one of my favorite Batman villains. I I just feel like he's really underappreciated when it comes to villains, along with Two Face. I think those two are like my favorites. And I'm a fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I love him in Terminator and Predator, and the list goes on and on. Last Action Hero, all that stuff. So I'm a fan of Arnold as well. Um, I never thought of him when it comes to Mister Freeze. I don't know. I don't think he fits the role because first of all, let's call it how it is. Arnold Schwarzenegger is not the greatest actor. Okay, he plays to his strengths, but I don't go to Arnold for like emotional range per se. You know, and Mister Freeze needs some emotional range. As far as his development. So definitely, I don't. I feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger was miscast as Mr. Freeze. But that's not even the main problem with this Mr. Freeze. This Mr. Freeze is so over the top. What is up with these villains being so over the top? Mr. Freeze in this movie is an ice pun corny ass character in this movie. He most of his lines are ice puns. And like he's given like this barbaric like performance like at last man cometh, I'm afraid. My condition has left me cold to your plea of mercy. I'm like, this is not the character at all. I was so mad. What did they do to this character? I mean, and then look at this outfit. Look at this. He looks ridiculous. I'm sorry. Like I know we're talking about someone who's trying to stay alive in a suit. You know, they has to keep him cold, or he will or he'll die. Like I understand that, but look at this suit. It just feels like there's too much going on. It looks like he could barely move in this suit, and it's like, and like I said, Schwarzenegger just looks so barbaric in this suit. Like it's just not. It just doesn't look flattering. I don't know. I don't like the helmet that he has on. I want the yes. I want the glass helmet around him. Like that's what I want. And like he doesn't wear the goggles like in the anime series. I know that's a nitpicky thing. Like, does he need goggles? No, but that's like an iconic thing for Mister Freeze. Like he wears goggles like in one scene, but it's like, man, I did not like his outfit. I don't like his dialogue. His dialogue is terrible. Most of the dialogue in this movie is terrible, but like him specifically, um, he's just nothing but ice puns. I think he gives like 27 ice puns in this movie. It is so fucking ridiculous. I couldn't take him seriously, and it's like you could tell they're trying because they still keep the stuff with his wife. You know, he's him trying to save his wife from a disease, and he holding him in a in like a water chamber or whatever to keep her alive. So they still have that stuff coming like in the movie, and it's like I want to feel. I'm trying to feel bad for the character, but it's like I couldn't take him seriously because of how silly and over the top his dialogue and is like how he's playing the character is just not working for me. It's not working. And then another thing, as far as like, man, this goes to like the weird direction with all the neon and like over the top architecture in this movie. Like they're doubling down on that as well. So for a villain that is, you know, and that has ice, you know, like that's his whole gimmick is, you know, ice. Like he has an ice gun and all the stuff. He has a hockey team, ice hockey team. Um, you would think like, okay, so if there's a dude with an ice gun running around, and I'm trying to figure out where his base of operations is, I wonder why no one immediately thought to look at the abandoned ice cream factory that he apparently was there in the whole time, and none of the police really thought to look there. Like, what the fuck is this movie? First of all, why is Mr. Freeze hiding in an abandoned ice cream factory? I mean, okay, because you know it's I guess it's a cold place and that'll keep him alive or whatever. But it's like, why did the police not put two and two together? So fucking stupid. Oh my god. And then his whole plan is that he's going to steal diamonds around Gotham to power this giant ice ray, so he'll freeze the city, and then he's going to hold Gotham ransom, and he's going to force Gotham to give him the resources to save his wife in order to find the cure. So, okay, do you really need to? Okay. I already have some questions with this. I may be nitpicking, but hey, the problems are there. So, do you really need to go out of your way to freeze the city in order to get the resources you need? Like, is it money you need? Is it like a certain type of like? Is this some sort of type of antidote? Whatever. Like, what exactly? How exactly do you plan on saving your wife? I know how it is because I read the comics, but in the context of the movie, they don't explain how he will be able to save his wife. He's just gonna hold the city ransom. He's gonna freeze the city and then hope that the city finds a way for them to cure his wife. Come on, it's a little bit more complicated than that. But all right, whatever. Um, and then we get to Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy. Okay, so as I said, this is the first time I'm seeing Uma Thurman in a film. So this is before I saw her in any Tarantino movies and stuff like that. So she was so bad. She was so bad. I literally felt like I was watching um a a porno version of Poison Ivy. That's what it really felt like because her dialogue is so bad. It is so corny. It is full of nothing but sexual innuendos. That's most of her dialogue. Like it just feels like she's trying to seduct everyone that she meets. And like I could not take her seriously. First of all, um so her development in this movie is that she's a scientist in the Amazon, and she's trying to save plants from extinction. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. But they somehow want to tie in her development with Bane, which oh we'll get to Bane soon. Yeah, oh my god. But so so they're at the, this laboratory in the Amazon, and like her boss is is like doing underhanded deals with the I don't know, some sort of, what's it called, the Ununited Nation, whatever. I don't know who these people are, but so he's creating super soldiers for, I don't know, this syndicate or whatever, and it's and they're creating, like, they're using the venom from the Poison Ivy's real name is Pamela, obviously, but so they're using the venom from her research to create super soldiers like Bane, and she gets really mad at her boss, and she's going to threaten her boss, like blackmail him or something, and then her boss pushes, and in retaliation, her boss kills her by pushing her over the chemicals in her lab, and then she, so the chemicals in her lab created like a neat like a pit that just emerges from the ground, and she gets buried into the pit with all the plants and the chemicals and stuff like that. And then like later on she just rises up from the ground, and now she's Poison Ivy and she has powers now. What is going on? Okay. And then she just, I don't, I just, so she emerges from the whatever, a pit that just magically comes out of the floor, and she has the plant powers because all the chemicals, I guess, like gave her, like, transformed her body, where it's like she said, it replaced my blood with aloe, my skin with chlorophyll, and filled my lips with venom. And then she kisses her boss, and then he dies. So, okay, that's the one thing that's accurate about this movie, that she does have a venom kiss. So, great. What I will say is that Uma Thurman, she looks like Poison Ivy. I don't really have anything that negative to say about her actual appearance. I mean, I look at her, I'm like, yeah, that's Poison Ivy. I mean, I don't think the costume is too crazy. Like, this seems like something that she would wear. I mean, it's a little too. I would say it's a little too. It's a little too dazzling than I wanted. Like, you could tell, like, you know, I think they overdid the makeup just a little bit. But as far as the costume, I'm like, okay, she looks like Poison Ivy, and that's fine. But as far as like her performance, her delivery, I'm just like, no, just no. Like, oh my gosh, it's like I hate her delivery. She's doing it so slow, and and like it feels like she's trying to seduce everybody. It was getting on my nerves how she was delivering this, and it's like, now seeing her in other films like Kill Bill and stuff like that. She could do a more serious performance. Like there are other roles that she's done where like she seems more she could be more sinister, she could be more scary, but like in this I'm just like, no, you look like you walked out of an adult film. Like that's pretty much how I'm feeling. Like no, and so now she's going to use her new plant powers and stuff like that to take over the world and have revenge on humanity for killing nature and that stuff or whatever, blah blah blah. And then also she brings Bane with her. Man, Bane, this is just an insult. I can't. What this is awful. Awful. This is not even Bane. Sorry guys, excuse me. But no, this is not Bane. This is a green ogre with a Bane mask on. Like, okay, the one thing that you accurate somewhat is okay, they have venom injected into his system and he gives him super strength. Yes. But he's not a dumb brute that says a few words like like awful. Fucking awful. Why do they keep doing this to Bane? They messed up in this movie and another Batman film, which we'll get to later on in the month. Like, there's just no respect for this character. He's just a green brute that's just working for Catwoman and Mr. Freeze later on and just says one or two words like he's dumb. Just a fucking insult. Hated that. Hated it so much. And then it's like when Poison Ivy and Bane are like walking around the city and like they're in their disguises. The only thing that's disguising Bane is like he's in a trench coat and a top and a hat, and nobody recognizes that it's him. Like what the fuck? I mean, Poison Ivy, one thing she puts on glasses and a head wrap or whatever, so she tries a little, and she puts on a wig as well. So she tries harder to disguise herself, but Bane is just like a trench coat and a hat, and nobody like questions anything. What the fuck is this movie? What the so stupid. Okay, so when she goes into so Batman and Robin like are trying to set up a trap for Mr. Freeze. Like uh they're doing like I don't know, it's some sort of show for the rich people showing off diamonds or whatever, and it's like Mr. Freeze finds out about it, so Batman and Robin elaborates a trap, which is probably one of the dumbest traps I have ever seen in the film, but it does end up working somehow. But okay, so they do this whole thing at the I don't know what festival show, whatever. It was like jungle themed or whatever. I really hate the color palette in this movie. I'm just letting you guys know right now. The colors in this film are too much. It is too much. There's too much neon going on. Like, it's so much where I don't feel like this world is real. Everything feels artificial. Everything feels like I'm on a set. Everything looks like a toy commercial. That's what it feels like. Nothing feels real. Nothing feels like tangible. That's what it just irritates me how over the top they are with the aesthetic. It's just too much. It's too much. I know there's some people that appreciate them doing something different for a Batman movie, like aesthetically, artistic wise. Yeah, it's creative. I'll give it that. It's very creative what Joel Schumacher was going for direction wise, but it doesn't fit for Batman. This was a interesting experiment, but it failed. I'm sorry, it failed. But they did this elaborate thing at the whatever the auction or whatever with the diamonds, and then Poison Ivy somehow came in disguised as one of the gorillas doing the shows or whatever. And then there's this whole thing where everyone like is like hypnotized by Poison Ivy's like dust or whatever, including Batman and Robin, and everyone's auctioning over her because of how pretty she is, blah blah blah. And then eventually Batman and Robin start fighting over her. Like, what is going on? And then Poison Ivy with her dumbass lines. Why not send Junior home early? I got some wild oats to sow. I'm like, what in the hell? And then it's like, I just and then when they're fighting over, it's like they're bidding over them. It's like some of the rich people were like, "I'll do $100,000 for Poison Ivy, 200,000," and then Batman goes like 1 million, and then Batman goes 1 million, and then Robin goes 2 million, and then they fight over that. It's like you don't have it, 3 million. A bar from you, 4 million, 5 million. That's the utility belt, not a money belt. 6 million. And Batman says 7 million. And then you guys know what he pulls out, right? You know what he pulls out. The Bat credit card. The fucking Bat credit card. What the fuck is going on? Did he just pull this out? A Bat credit card. You heard people rant about this ad nauseum. This this is the this is what broke the camel's back. A Bat credit card. So stupid. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I don't even remember the Adam West show where he pulling out a Bat credit card. First of all, how would Batman set up an account at a bank in order to have a credit card? Isn't he supposed to be a secret superhero where no one's supposed to know where he is or know where his database is? Why the fuck is he pulling out a Bat credit card? This is so fucking dumb. Oh my god. And then look at that. And look at that. It said good through forever goth car. What the fuck is this movie? Did Batman actually go to what was it? What was it? The goth card? Did he actually go to a bank and was like, I want to open the account and you know I want to put some money in and I actually want to use the card and build up my credit. I want to build up my credit because I'm Batman. Like what the fuck is this, man? Oh, thank God somebody's here to join with me on this nonsense. Returning back to the channel, I have Ambassador. What's going on, man?
A Bat credit card? A Bat credit card? Nope. No. Bruce Wayne / Batman does not need a mother freaking credit card. He's freaking Batman. No. Just no. Just freaking no.
Fucking stupid.
It's got to be the stupidest gosh dang thing I have ever heard of.
I still can't get over the it's good through forever. Like what the what? That's not how
No,
credit
because it
cards
says
work.
Batman Forever. It was supposed to be a pun. It's not even a good pun because Batman Forever is 10 million times better than this movie. Okay, all right. To give some context, this movie actually came out the year I graduated from high school. It came out in 1997. And I was like, okay, Batman Forever was pretty good. I mean, I gave my stance on how I feel about Batman Forever last time I was on with you, DL. So I was like, okay, we'll give this a shot. So me and Mother Ambassador, we went and checked this out, and we actually went. I hope this doesn't sound too odd. I don't think it will, at least it doesn't to me. But we went to the drive-in in her hometown, and because it was still in business. And it was a drive-in that had been open since she was a kid. And they had a double feature of Batman Forever and Lost World Jurassic Park. The first feature was Lost World, and fun movie, really great movie, really enjoyed it. We got about like 30 minutes in, And I looked at Mother and Bastard. I was like, I can't take this. I'm like, this movie is just horrendously bad. And she's like, you just want to leave? I'm like, are you good with us just leaving? I mean, we saw the movie we really wanted to see. She's like, yeah, we saw Jurassic World or Lost World. She's like, are you good leaving? I'm like, I'm very good leaving. She's like, okay, let's get out of here. Now I this was many years ago. I did sit down and I watched this thing all the way through so I could say I at least watched it once. And I was like, this movie hurts my brain. It is so horrendously bad. I mean, I know that they were trying to do like an homage to the Adam West Batman, but and especially with Mr. Freeze, how they had him over the top and everything. He was like over a top portrayal of like Mr. Freeze from the Adam West series, but this was so painfully bad because we had just gotten Mr. Freeze from the animated series, which was so freaking good. And this was, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think he is a good actor. Is he a great actor? No, but he is a good actor. He knows what he does well. He does action and he does comedy pretty good. He's done some good comedic roles during his career. But this was so horrendously bad that he was making the other Mr. Freezes who had passed on already roll over in their graves. I mean, I did a video talking about the history of the character because I love Mr. Freeze. And fun little factoid, Eli Wallach, who is a great old school actor from back in the day, he was actually in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. He played Tuco. He played Mr. Freeze at one point. And I'm thinking, you are doing a gross disservice to one of my all-time favorite villains from the Batman Rogues Gallery. It hurt my brain. And I'm like, not to mention Uma Thurman. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Uma Thurman as an actress. I loved her in Kill Bill and Kill Bill Volume 2. I loved her in Pulp Fiction. She is a good actress. But her as Poison Ivy is just, it hurts my brain.
Oh my god! It felt like she came out of an adult movie. Like oh my god, that's how bad her dialogue was.
Oh gosh, I am here to sow some wild oats. I'm like,
I'll help you grab
you
your
are
rocks.
everything. You are everything that is wrong with cinema.
Oh Jesus!
And then to top it all off, the movie that actually I think single-handedly killed any momentum that this actress's career had, Alicia Silverstone.
Oh, I didn't even get to her yet.
Oh my freaking
awful!
What's her Cher from Clueless? Okay, I'm just gonna say this, and yes, Madman Bastard is in the next room, and no, she's not gonna care. The one character's costume who should have had bat nipples but didn't.
Dude, if she had bat nipples, this movie's rated R.
You think? You think? Like, oh my gosh!
But yeah, you're not wrong about that either. It's like if anyone was going to get nipples, it probably should have been her. Right?
Should have been her costume, not George Clooney, not Chris O'Donnell. Nobody cares about their nipples.
Right, and that why the nipples like bigger? Why are they more detailed? Why?
I don't know.
Oh my god! You could cut a diamond with those nipples.
I don't know. It hurts my. This movie across every potential category hurts my brain. It makes me question why humanity still exists. This movie, I mean, no disrespect to the late Joel Schumacher. He has done some good films in his career. He really has. I mean, I think he did one of Michael Douglas's best films, Falling Down. That is a great Schumacher film. He did The Lost Boys, another great Schumacher film. He's done good films in his career.
I even like Phantom of the Opera.
Okay, now I will say this. I will say this. that is not entirely Schumacher's fault.
Mm.
Andrew Lloyd Webber tapped him to direct this. And what Andrew Lloyd Webber wanted was a cinematic version of a stage play. That doesn't work.
No.
You can't do it is very tricky. Now I will say this, but I will say this though. I actually and sincerely like Joel Schumacher's Phantom of the Opera. I remember going to see it in theaters, and I legitimately enjoyed it. But this movie is just patently bad.
So
Just
bad.
absolutely it. And like I said, it makes my brain hurt.
Sure does. Since we were just talking about it, God, Alicia Silverstone is Batgirl. I want to get more into detail with her, but this is not Batgirl. This is Batgirl in name only. This is nothing like the character. First of
No.
all, Barbara is supposed to be the daughter of Commissioner Gordon, not the niece of Alfred. What?
Yeah.
What? And she's a British exchange student, even though she has an American accent. She's been there for how long? Okay. What? What is going on?
I'm just thankful she didn't do a British accent because she would have butchered it.
Yeah, she probably
Absolutely butchered it. You would have had Cher from Clueless trying to do a British accent, and I'm like, nope, does not compute, No, just stop.
I'll just say up front, I'm not a huge Alicia Silverstone fan. I haven't really liked her in much, so not for me.
I don't dislike her, but she hasn't. I've not really seen anything that she's been in except for the small portion of this. Well, when I watched this film, I'm like, no wonder her career tanked after this.
Well, this movie. She tried to come back in Scooby Doo too.
Now, I will say this though, I liked the live action Scooby Doo movies. I did. I legitimately liked the Scooby Doo movies with Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar, Linda Candrellini, and
Cardellini.
Whatever. And what's his face? Who played Shaggy?
Matthew
Lillard. Matthew Lillard. Yeah. I liked those. Those are they were goofy, they were silly, they were fun, and that's what they were intended to be, and that's what they were. But this, again, obviously we're talking about Batman and Robin. I'm like, no, just no.
No. But anyway, what makes me really mad about Batgirl is how easily she's able to break into the Batcave. What in the hell, man? Okay, so there's this whole subplot where Alfred is getting sick, and that's
I remember
one of the few moments in the movie where I'm like, okay, this movie's trying to be earnest a little bit. So like, okay, I appreciate that, but somehow he knew that Barbara was going to come to the mansion, and he put his algorithms in a computer because he knew that Barbara was going to try and get in there in the Batcave. And the fucking password thing is so freaking dumb. But anyway, so she somehow gets in there when she types in enough random words like Alfred, Peg, this, and then okay, I'm in, and then you see the stupid like whatever, the red and the logo up on her face, like, oh whatever, okay, it's too freaking dumb. And then Alfred has an algorithm in the Batcave, somehow designed a bat suit for her, ready to go. It's ready to go when she gets into the Batcave because she knew she was going to be Batgirl. What?
Oh, yeah. This is the most contrived plot plot derivative piece of writing is just it's okay.
Shoot me up, Uncle Alfred.
I'm going to make a statement here, and you may disagree, but then that's okay if you do.
Okay.
This is more contrived and more unbelievable than Rey's non-force training. This is actually worse.
I agree with you.
Than what they did with Rey in the sequels.
I 100% agree
this
with you.
This is I don't know how how this is worse, but it is worse.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about Rey being a Mary Sue? Batgirl's a fucking Mary Sue in this movie. Oh my god.
And it's well, the problem is they never established that Commissioner Gordon having a family. He was always just a frumpy old man who had no kids, had no wife, had no nothing. And for them to just, let's just contrive. Alfred's got a niece, and she just so happens to come to Gotham, and she just so happens to come across the Batcave, and Alfred just so happens to download his consciousness into a freaking computer, because of course he can, and he just so happens to design her a batsuit, because of course she's going to be Batgirl, because of course he's going to know that Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy are going to team up and try and take over Gotham and take over the world.
Does she have any training whatsoever? Does she have any training to be a superhero?
None! Zip! Zero! Nada! Nothing! El Zippo! And yet she can take... Okay, although I will say this. Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy... is just... Again, I like Uma Thurman. She's a decent actress. She's not the greatest actress ever, but she's decent. She has done good stuff in her career.
Yeah.
But this performance in this movie is just... And again, I have to go back to the animated series, because the Poison Ivy we got in that series was... it was an animated version, but it was a million times better.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, that Poison Ivy was deadly. She was sultry. She was seductive. And she used her brain. And she didn't have bad puns. And she didn't have a bad costume. This Poison Ivy was just dreadful.
Yeah. Oh, that red costume she had at the end. That was awful. I hated that costume so much.
This movie across the board is so misguided and so poorly crafted. It is a blight. It is a literal blight upon cinema. There is even the small little crevice of believability with the whole subplot of Alfred's dying is so buried by the mountain of poor decisions and poor story choices and poor set design and poor writing.
Oh, they killed that too. They killed that too, because like at the end of the movie, Mr. Freeze just so happens to have an antidote in his suit
to the exact same disease that his wife, who is in cryostasis, that Alfred caught as well. This shouldn't be Batman and Robin. This should be Batman just so happens.
Oh, Jesus. Lily,
okay, all right. Little joke. Even Jesus goes, Lord forgive me for what I'm about to say. Please, God, forgive me for what I'm about to say. But even Jesus is sitting up in heaven and probably said, really, Father? I died to save humanity's souls so they could make this movie? Please, dear Lord, do not judge me too harshly for what I just said.
Lily, this movie, only existence is to sell toys. That's what it's for. Toys.
Yep. Pretty much. And not even well-designed toys.
No.
They are badly designed. They are the sculpts are so cheap and so bargain basement.
I mean,
It
look at
hurts.
these vehicles. Look at these vehicles.
What
They
the
look
hell?
like toys.
Yes.
Look at this.
Oh, good. Okay, no. Now that bat cycle. Oh my god. No. Just what the hell?
Ugly.
It
Okay,
is
the bat cycle's
okay. The bat. No. That bat cycle is so freaking cheap. It's a crotch rocket that has a bat symbol slapped on or airbrushed onto the front windshield plate.
Yeah,
It is.
that's-
Oh my god! And look
that's
at the
not even
set
trying.
design. That is not how ice is supposed to look.
No, it looks like an ice show. That's what it looks like.
No, it looks like they wrapped some of the vehicles in cling plastic wrap and then sprayed it with super glue.
Oh my god, it looks ugly.
No, okay, better. I can do better. The set design for the end of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back when they're on the set in the Blunt Cave was better than the set design for this movie.
Jesus Christ. And then look at these outfits. Look at these outfits. Oh my god. This is the ugliest batsuit I've ever seen.
And again, I say, the one character's costume who should have nipples and doesn't.
No, bruh.
No!
You're about to get us canceled.
I'm sorry, the costumes alone. The costumes.
Man.
I have to say it. Really, Joel? This is what you want us to dress up in? Really? I mean, I feel bad for George Clooney. I feel bad for Chris O'Donnell. I feel bad for Alicia Silverstone. But you know the one actor whose costume I feel truly bad for? Arnold.
Oh no, that suit looks ridiculous. Ridiculous. Oh, look what they did to my boy.
All right. I'm gonna put something in the chat so that I don't get you in any further trouble.
Okay. But man, it's so bad. Don't forget this guy right here. Jesus, no. There's no respect for Bane either.
Oh gosh, Bane. Okay, all right. Okay. This is Bane's suit is so bad that even it would have been rejected by the WWF.
Yeah, there's no way.
Even Vince McMahon would have been like, no.
No.
Honey, it's Batman and Robin. No, it's worse.
The one thing I will give to this Bane is that they actually have the venom injected into his body so it gives him strength. That's the one thing they got accurate. But everything else is horrible.
Okay, no, there's one other little glimmer of goodness in this film, and that is the guy who played the scientist who created Bane. I can't remember the name of the actor. He was actually fun fact, he actually played Lionel Luthor on Smallville.
Oh, okay. I think he was in Gremlins too, wasn't he?
He was, yep. He played a spoof version of Donald Trump, Clamp, Mr. Clamp. Clamp Plaza, which was kind of a spoof of Trump Tower. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the actor, though, and that's driving me nuts because he's actually a pretty good actor.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm going to look up right now.
But yeah, this movie, this movie killed the Batman franchise for a while. I mean, it legitimately did. I mean,
Yep.
we didn't get another, let's see, from 97. Let's see, when did Batman Begins come out? In what, 08?
Uh,
No, 03.
05.
03.
05.
05. Holy crap.
Oh, the actor you're thinking of, John Glover.
John, yeah. Yeah. It just.
Yeah, we didn't get another Batman movie till 2005. And it went a completely different direction with that.
Yeah, thankfully.
But, yeah, so I will say one of the few good things about this movie, if we didn't get this, we wouldn't get the Nolan films. So
that is that's true. If this movie hadn't been so horrendously bad, we would not have gotten. I think one of the best cinematic trilogies put on screen. I know there are issues. I know there are issues with Dark Knight Rises.
Talk about that when we get there.
But I will say this: Dark Knight Rises. There's a lot more good in it than there is bad. But unfortunately, with Batman and Robin, there is nothing but bad and very little good.
Yeah, like okay. So another thing I wanted to talk about
Go ahead.
was so dumb. Okay, so the main like the conflict that Mr. Freeze is doing, like he wants to freeze the city and stuff like that. And they establish a rule that you have 11 minutes to thaw people before they die, correct?
Mm-hmm.
How long was that climax at the end?
I honestly don't remember because I've only watched this. Like I said, we watched a small portion of it at the theater, and then I eventually watched it on I think I got it on VHS one time, and I have not touched that movie since.
Okay.
That movie is like Andy from the 4-Year-Old Virgin. It has not felt the touch of anyone in 40 some odd years.
Okay, so the main thing about this is that when Freeze starts freezing the city, it probably takes at least Batman, Robin, and Batgirl to drive to the telescope thing at least 10 minutes, right? And then it took another 15 to 20 minutes to fight Mr. Freeze and all that, and Bane and whatever. Everyone's already dead. Everyone's already dead. So you already took too long when he started freezing everyone. But how they thaw the city. Oh my God. So Batgirl and Robin reconfigure the computer to have heat directed to satellites like they're solar panels. And then they create thawing lasers throughout the city to melt Gotham. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. No.
Does not compute.
Literally, that's not compute. Literally, this is why we're saying Batgirl's a Mary Sue in this movie. She's literally just able to reconfigure the computer and just hack the satellites and create thawing lasers. What is this film? What the fuck is this movie? And that's not even all the problems, considering the fact that in the beginning of the movie, why does Batman and Robin have ice skates pop out of his boots when they didn't even know that Mr. Freeze was an actual threat? How the fuck are they surfing in the sky? What the fuck?
Exactly. They're using doors off of the rockets to and no, here's the real cringy part. What does Robin say? What does he say? You are not a Ninja Turtle. The Ninja Turtles are cooler than you right now.
Oh,
good grief! No, this my brain hurts. My brain legitimately hurts.
And then Robin has rubber lips the entire time when Poison Ivy tried to kiss him, and then he rips the rubber lips off. Why doesn't he try to kiss him again? Nope, he just pushes him into the leg. I'm like, what the? All right. so fucking stupid.
Okay, I will say this. The rubber lips on Chris O'Donnell are more convincing than the CGI removal of Henry Cavill's mustache from Justice League.
Once again, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Oh my gosh. Oh, and when Mr. Freeze was escaping from the auction place, whatever, and they jump across a building, and then you had that whole thing of why didn't you let me take that jump? Blah blah blah. But whatever. Batman goes after Freeze, and then what does he do to Freeze? Like when he crashes into Mr. Freeze's vehicle and he's just laid out, like look like he's like paralyzed or whatever. What did Batman do to Freeze? Did
I
he
honestly
kill
don't
him?
know. Well, you wouldn't think so because that suit's got to be reinforced or something.
Right, I don't know what the heck happened. He's just laid there like, I'm like, okay, that's weird. Just a whole lot of just crazy stuff.
Just so happens.
Just so happens. It
just so happens to crash into Mr. Freeze and just so happens to knock Mr. Freeze out.
How does Batman have a recording of Poison Ivy saying to Batgirl, as I told Lady Freeze when I pulled her plug, this is a one-woman show. You were hanging up in the vines. How were you? And how did you know you would need that footage at that specific moment?
We don't know. It just so happens. I mean, okay, I'm going to say this. Any episode of Adam West's Batman show had better writing than this entire movie.
You know what? Yeah, as much crap as people want to give to the Adam West show, they put in more effort with the writing than this movie.
Because here's the thing. It was meant to be campy. It was meant to be over the top. It was meant to be goofy and silly. That was the whole gist of it. It was Batman for kids, essentially.
Right.
But, it still appealed on some levels. It appealed to adults, too. And that's the charm of Adam West's Batman. It appeals to everybody. Yes, it's campy, it's silly, it's stupid, but it's a good kind of campy. It's a good kind of silly. It's a good kind of stupid. Batman and Robin is just a massive cinematic blunder. From the back credit card to Mr. Freeze's very phallic design for his suit. And Robin and Batwoman's or Batgirl's nippleless costume.
It's not exactly PC. How about Batperson or Batwoman?
I don't care if it's PC or not. I could give a rat's ass about that. I don't know better. I could give a bat's ass about that.
There's a whole lot of bat ass in this.
Yeah. Well, again, I'm going to get in so much damn trouble from people. I don't care. I would wager how many close-up shots are there of George Clooney and Chris O'Donnell's butts in their suits? Way too damn many.
Too many.
How many shots of Alicia Silverstone in her suit are there? Probably none.
One.
Maybe.
One.
Hell, there's probably no butt shot of Uma Thurman in her Poison Ivy costume.
Oh, of course not. Can't give us eye candy. Even though it's right freaking there. What up?
We are going to be in so much trouble.
Who cares?
I don't care.
This movie's homoerotic anyway. So much erotic imagery in this movie.
Just a little. Yeah. Just a little.
Oh,
Everybody's gonna be like, geez, Ambassador, get your mind out of the gutter. I'm not. My mind isn't in the gutter. My mind's just thinking common sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it's good enough for the women, why can't you give anything for the fellas? I'm just saying. I'm gonna say this. I would not be the least bit surprised if someone did an adult parody of this movie. And then at
Oh, it's
some
probably
point,
out there.
yeah, it probably is. It would not surprise me in the slightest.
It will probably be better than this movie.
Yes. It would not surprise me in the slightest if there was a scene in that spoof where Bane and Mr. Freeze turn out to be male strippers.
I mean, they have the bodies for it.
I mean it.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, for everyone's sakes, I don't know if you know this, and the only reason I know this is because of another friend who has a channel, and he did a review of the movie. They did a adult parody of Captain Marvel.
Oh gosh.
Yep.
Oh god.
Yep. Yep.
Probably have the most boring sex scenes ever put to film.
Maybe. Maybe.
That movie's so fucking boring.
But
I can only imagine powering up during sex. Okay, I need to stop. But have her glowing while she's getting aroused. Anyway, the stream has gone mad, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sorry, DL. I really am. But this movie, the only way you survive a movie like this is laughter, because otherwise you would be in a constant rage the whole freaking time. So to keep away the anger, you have to laugh, you have to mock, you have to just marvel at the ridiculousness that is Batman and Robin.
Absolutely. Well, I guess we're gonna start winding things down, closing things out, because like we went through the ringer on this one. So
yes,
overall,
we did.
Yeah. Overall, this movie is a tragedy. This is a travesty. This is a disgrace. This is the worst Batman film I've ever seen. I don't want to hear anyone try to tell me that there's anything in the DCU right now that's even close to this. This is what killed the Batman franchise, bruh.
At least for a while.
Yeah, at least for a while. Like, oh my god, this doesn't feel like a movie. This feels like a straight up parody of Batman. And it's like, yeah, and like people could say, "Oh, it's supposed to feel like the Adam West show." Well, yes, it's trying to be like the Adam West show without the charm, without the cleverness, and with too much, with the dialogue being awful. I hate the overuse of the colors and the neon, whatever. It's like sensory overload. The writing was really bad. George Clooney was phoning it in as Batman and Bruce Wayne. Chris O'Donnell was annoying as Robin. Batgirl wasn't even Batgirl. Freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger being miscast as Mr. Freeze and all his stupid ice puns. Ugh. And like Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy looks like he just walked out of a porno. Like, I just can't. I can't do it.
And Bane is a bad luchador wrestler. Even Bane would have been laughed out of the WWF or the WWE as its own now.
Absolutely, man. And so many contrived things with the plot. Things just happen just because.
Just so happens.
Right. The suits, most of the costumes in this movie are horrendous. I literally felt like I was watching a toy commercial, because this is what it is. It's a toy commercial. That's literally what this movie is made to do. Sell toys, and it couldn't even do that right. The toys don't even look good, as you said. Like,
yes, the toys look cheap. Whereas I'll go on camera for this. This actually looks good.
Yeah,
I got that today. Anyway.
I got that. Oh, guess what? Guess what? I got it too. I just got this too.
Hey!
Hey! Yeah, add to
Yay!
my Funko collection.
Well, actually, not only did I find that, but I also found Cobb Vanth.
Oh, yeah, there's
Yeah.
actually a Cobb
No,
Vanth one.
yeah, there's actually two. There's one where he's got the helmet on, and there's one where he has the helmet off. I found the one with the helmet on.
Okay, I want to find the one with the helmet off. Because I
Good luck.
want to get a. Yeah, I know. I probably got to.
That's gonna be hard. That's gonna be a hard one to find.
Yeah, somewhere on the dark web. I'm just kidding. But yeah, man. So I think this is the first time I'm pulling this out, or I haven't pulled this great out in a while. But yeah, this movie deserves it. Batman and Robin is god awful. It's
yes.
god awful.
Yes. It makes you question. It makes you question, why does humanity still exist?
Yeah.
Why?
Can't.
Why?
Why?
But here is a ray of sunshine. Here is a glimmer of hope. As far down as we are with this movie, you can only go up from here. And where we go from here is awesome.
Agreed. But yeah, that is our rant on Batman and Robin.
Yes.
Tell us your thoughts in the comments if you guys. I don't know anyone that really likes it that well. Cause there's probably like a handful of people that like it because of how dumb it is. So it's like if you turn your brain off, guilty pleasure or whatever, which is fine. So if you guys loved it, hated it, thought it was okay, comment your thoughts down below. If you guys enjoyed this live stream, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. And please subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. Almost to 400 subscribers. Please hit the bell if you want to be notified on future videos I'll be doing. I want to thank Ambassador for joining with me today. I appreciate not having to do this alone.
Always a pleasure, DL. Happy to help and happy to talk about this one with you, man. Because, yes, no one should have to suffer through a review of Batman and Robin alone.
Yeah. Do you want to tell the 5 people where they can find you?
You can find me on social media, on Twitter and on Instagram, at Twitter at AmbassadorKosh7 and at the Ambassador Kosh on Instagram. You can find me here on YouTube at the Ambassador Wing. I talk pop culture, modern, retro. If it's geeky, if it's nerdy, it's awesome. I cover it. Right. And you cannot spell awesome without the Ambassadorial Wing.
Hell yeah, man. So, we finished the Tim Burton films. We finished the Adam West movie. We talked about Mask of the Phantasm, and we just finished the Schumacher era of Batman. And now it is time to get into the main course. We are about to get into the Christopher Nolan trilogy, the Dark Knight trilogy. Yes. So the next Batman film we will be talking about is Batman Begins. Can't wait to get into that finally. Tune in for that when it comes out. But that's all we have for you Batman fans. And we will see you guys in the next one. Talk to you guys later. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
The Ice Age!